And it's the top of the hour, so we'll just get started as all these folks roll on in. All right. Hi, everybody. Happy hump day. Woo!
Woo!
Hello.
Put your arms up.
Hi, everyone.
Happy Wednesday.
I just put a note in the chat. So if you have questions, we'll use chat today for questions. And I'm going to get started. Welcome to May 21st. Can you believe it? Like this year will be half over in about a month. Oh, God.
Right?
It's crazy how fast.
The Start Mastery Circle. Let me go to the, oh, that didn't work. Oh, okay, introductions. I'm Valerie Van Boeven. I'm a registered nurse and the co-owner of Approved Senior Network. I'm going to be talking a lot more today. Usually everybody else does these and they do a fabulous job. But I'm going to be talking about digital marketing, which is my favorite. So you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hi, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Annette Ziegler. I've been with ASN for just about a year now. I have about 20 years experience in home care, and I teach the sales training classes here. So welcome. I'm looking forward to your program today, Valerie.
Yeah, I love doing this. Lisa Marcellet or Don.
Yeah. Ole. I'm Lisa Marcellet. Trey says, Coach, what's up to Annette? I have been in home care forever and a day. I've worn every single hat imaginable, and I just love being here with you guys to share the knowledge and just be a part of your home care journey. And you'll see me all the time in different places. Thanks for having us.
I'm Dawn Fiala. I've been with the Approved Senior Network for 3 years now. I just had my 3-year anniversary. I have been in home care for a really long time, and I love that I'm still sort of in home care with all of you. I appreciate you allowing us to be a part of your journey. And we do mostly do lots of training here. And today it's going to be Valerie with digital marketing. I'm really, really looking forward to this because I always learn a little something too. So thanks for coming, everyone.
The pressure is on. No.
I don't know if we have a
All
telephone
right.
number, but you can email it to her.
Oh,
And I'll
everybody.
tell her, but email it to her so she can respond to this email.
Oh, maybe we can mute everybody.
Okay, send it. Okay, thank you.
All right. Housekeeping. Lines muted unless speaking. So if you are not muted, you might want to go in and mute your line. But please, speak up, put something in the chat if you want to talk. Share stories, experiences, tips, ask questions, make recommendations, and tell us what you want to know. If we haven't covered something, in fact, somebody asked me today to cover something that we haven't gone, we're going to talk about it a little bit today, and that's about AI. I'm going to talk about it a little bit today. I don't want to bore people with my nerdy AI stuff, but I will talk about it a little bit. Commercial interruption, marketing and sales, 90-day mastery program. A lot of you on here have been through this, but if you have not, or your team has not, or someone in your office has not, who's a salesperson, we would love for you to get them signed up. May 28th, June 17th, and June 26th are on the boards. So if someone needs to get that sales training done, it is a lovely program. I highly recommend it. It's all Annette and Lisa, and I bet Dawn sneaks in once in a while, and they do a wonderful job. So please sign up for that. So that is my commercial.
Thanks.
And Annette, you want to say anything else about that?
No, I still have a couple spots open for next week. It's not too late to sign up. If anybody is out there that wants to be motivated and it's 12 weeks, once a week for an hour. I always say we spoon feed you. We tell you what to do, what to say. We make leave behinds for you. We have by week 6, we have a lot of our class members getting private pay referrals. So don't hesitate to join in. We'd love to have you. Thanks.
All right. Agenda today, home care websites that make the phone ring. And so we're going to talk about essential elements of a 2025 website. Why mobile matters more, capturing phone and form leads. Does blog posting still make sense? How to get AI answers. We are going to talk a little bit about AI and to notice your website. So how to get AI to notice your website when it gives out an answer. But I'll show you examples of that and Q&A. And just so you know, the guy who weed eats the front is here now. Besides the weed eat outside, really loud. So sorry if the dogs bark. I can't win. It's just, so, okay, let's talk about essential elements of a 2025 website. And if you have a question, or if you want this list, I would happily send that to you. If you could just put a little, put a word in the chat that says list, I will send you this little list. It's nice to pass on to your web developer. Oh my goodness. Can you guys hear that? Oh, good. I'm not going to go through all these things because that would take forever and it's crazy, but these are some of the things that we highly recommend that you have for a 2025 website. I am going to go through some of them, the ones that are most important off this list, but if you want this, I will happily send it to you. No big deal. And you should, just work through it and work through it with your web developer. If we're a web developer, we already know, you're welcome to share it with us too, or bug us about it. All right. The first thing on the list is speed. Speed is always going to be one of the most important factors for your website. It has everything to do with Google. So Google went to a mobile first. It cares about mobile first sort of a attitude or rule in 2018. So we are way beyond that rule. And so today, if your website doesn't load fast as on a mobile device, you are going to lose. And what's going to happen is, Google wants all of their users to have an amazing experience when they do a Google search. So if your website has errors on it, it's loading slow, it doesn't render correctly, Google's going to stop showing it because it doesn't want the people using it to have a bad experience. So what you can see on my screen are a couple of different tests that we put our websites through. This website was just developed by us. And so the desktop speed, as you can see, is a and also the mobile speed is an A. So on the left, you see how it looks like a desktop version of the website. And on the right, you can see it looks like a mobile version of the site. I'm going to show you some bigger pictures of this, but this is what your website should look like. Now, sometimes if you have a website that, maybe needs a little update, we use WordPress. So in a WordPress website, almost every day, there's some plugin or something that needs to be updated. So sometimes if a client comes to us and says, hey, I don't think my website's as fast as it used to be, then we just go in, we update a few things or, do whatever, take a look at it, see if there's an issue, and then bang, it's right back to an A. So anytime you run a test, I use this thing called GT metrics. I don't know. Oh yeah, here it is. GT metrics. You can go there and run your site speed for free. It's going to default to a desktop version, but you can change the settings and also run a mobile version. All right, so let's keep going there. So speed is number one. Also, your website should be ADA compliant, have clear calls to action, and clearly state your service area. So on this website, you can see all my arrows are pointing to something that's important. So at the top here, we have this website says serving Indianapolis in central Indiana. Now, it can say a lot more than that, or maybe say a little bit less, depending on what your service area is. But if I am not familiar with your business, and I only know your website address, I may not know exactly your service area. Think about folks that are in Florida or Manhattan or somewhere where it's really crowded. You have no idea what that home care agency's service area is if they don't state it pretty quickly. So we always want to make sure that people coming to the website know where you are. And then calls to action. We start right at the top. There's a phone number that's clickable and a get started button, which leads to a form. And then we continue with those calls to action with free assessment. And then down here on the bottom right-hand corner, you can see, hi there, have a question? Text us here. So you can, it's another call to action to get someone to communicate with you. And on the left-hand side, you see the little person in the blue dot at the very bottom of my screen, bottom left. That is ADA compliance. Now, some people have a lot more, like if you were to go to a website like Coca-Cola or Nike, you would see a lot more ADA compliance, a higher level of that. What we do is we do use a plugin. And if you were to click on that, it would allow you to adjust the screen settings so that you could see it better. So if you have low vision, it can be easier for you to read, or if you are colorblind, or if you need to hear it with audio, and you have an audio reader on your computer, it will skip to the text and it'll skip all the pictures. So anyway, that is our version of ADA compliance. There are different levels of ADA compliance, but this one pretty much has taken care of everything. And remember, every single person who comes to your website either does have some form of disability, or they're a family member of someone who has a disability, or they're trying to help someone who has a disability. So it's really important that you have a website that is ADA compliant. If you have any questions, be sure to just put them in the chat. All right, so now you're looking at a more of a mobile view. So I wanted to show you how this stacks up on mobile. The left-hand picture is a little bit wider than it's from my phone, but it looks wider for some reason. Anyway, you can see right at the top, we always want the phone number to be right at the top. And the get started goes to a form, and the free assessment. And on the mobile, this is if you scroll down a little bit on your mobile device, you can see that all the places they serve are here, and their ADA compliance is still there, and the chat is still there. But it's big and folks can see it. The text is big. So even people with low vision can see the mobile version really nicely. This is what your website should look like, something like this on a mobile device. If your phone number is not showing up at the top, then you need to talk to your web developer and see what you can get done about that. All right. Anybody have any questions about that? Are we good?
We're good.
Speed, ADA compliance, and calls to action. Okay. First question I have for you all here is, do you think this is an AI image? Yes or no? In the chat, give me a yes or a no. Is this image created with AI? Yes or no? Okay, what are people telling us?
We have 3 yeses, 4 yeses, 1 no,
It is not.
2
It
no's.
is not an AI image. This is the real owners, and I believe a mom or a grandma, perhaps, in this image. This is the real deal. I'm going to show you, I'll probably show you some AI images as we go along here. But I know that everybody's wondering, well, you know, can you tell the difference between an AI image and a real image? In this case, it's real. I have seen some really terrible AI images. If you use AI imagery, you have to be very careful about how it renders, and make sure people don't have 6 fingers and 3 eyes, or their hand is warped out at the bottom. I've seen a couple of kind of bad looking AI images. However, I will tell you that AI has gotten very good. If you are good at generating AI images, I think we are, then you can generate ones that are so lifelike and so pretty that you would never know the difference. I'm not promoting that you have all AI images, but I would say that there are some websites that we have created where the client wants everybody in red scrubs, and that's more of a graphic image adjustment, or they want everybody in polo shirts. So if they don't have their own pictures, then we can adjust that. So I want to hit escape for a second here. Hold on a second. I want to get rid of this. And I want to get rid of this. Whoop. Okay, so view, slideshow. All right, so my next comment is use real photos of staff and leadership whenever possible. So this is a real photo of staff and the two owners. So I know that a lot of you don't like to have your picture on a website, but I will tell you that leadership should always have a professional image on their website, or even a casual image. It doesn't have to be a professional headshot. It can be casual, but nice. People want to know who they are doing business with. They desperately want to know that. Who are they going to trust? Who is the person, who's behind the people who answered the phone? Who is accountable? Please come out from behind your websites. On your About Us page, it shouldn't just be your vision, your mission. It should have a picture of you, or you and your wife, or you and your husband, or you and your family, or your team. Whatever it is you want to do, it could be a big group picture. Please come out from behind your website. That really does make a difference for the consumer. So here is another sort of view of all of these pretty ladies. You should have branded design across all of your platforms. So you can see their website here on the left, and then below that you can see their Facebook business page has the same image, the same logo. It's rearranged a little bit, but we use the same branding in everything we do. So they have a now hiring post on their Facebook page. You can see they use some similar imagery. They have all of the posts that go up on their Facebook and their LinkedIn are branded to them. And then if you look to the top right, the very top, you can see for their LinkedIn business page, we use the same kind of imagery for that. And then their newsletter, which is on the right, kind of in the middle, all the way to the right, monthly care newsletter for families. We're using the same colors, imagery. So we're matching all the way across. What happens is there's something called, well, it's brand recognition, but also facial recognition. So not only are you going to recognize that logo every time you come across them, everywhere you go, if you're in their local area, but you're going to see their faces, their logo, their colors. You're going to know that that's welcome home. Every single time you see that, you're going to be reminded that that's them. So their branding carries on through everything they do. Also, on your LinkedIn personal profiles, if you are leadership of your company, behind your head, there's a place where you can put an image. Everybody should have a similar image with similar branding. You see how all of us have this background here that has Approved Senior Network on it. We have something like that on our LinkedIn's as well. So you'll recognize our colors, you'll recognize that branding of us behind our heads on LinkedIn. I highly recommend that you all do that for everything that you have online. Now, if you are not in leadership, but you're a salesperson, you are a community liaison, you're maybe the operations person, and if you are willing to do that for your company, I would highly recommend you do that. You can always remove it if you move on to another role, but it really helps a company stand out if folks see that every time. Any questions about branding?
No.
Good.
We're good
No?
there.
All right. Okay, search engine optimization. So there is big search engine optimization and a little search engine optimization. So we're going to talk about little search engine optimization here. Every time we create a website, we want to make sure that we have done the very best we can to search engine optimize each page, the home page, and throughout the whole website. We want to make sure that Google knows who they are, who you are, where you're located, your service area, and what you do. Those are the three main things that Google wants to know: who you are, where you're located or your service area, and what services you provide. So the proper schema and markup metadata are really important. And that is big nerdy words. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Not dirty words, they're nerdy words. Nerds. Yes, that would be me. So long tail keyword optimization and internal linking and fresh monthly blog content. Okay, so the picture you see here is a picture of a blog. And this is the Welcome Home blog. They send in company news. And so you can see there's 2 blog posts here, this beautiful young lady and Learn Life-Saving CPR and First Aid. You can see both of those posts there. Below that, you can see one of the posts that we put up, the benefits of companion care at home for older adults. And guess what? That's an AI image right there. I think it's pretty. You might be able to tell, but it's really a pretty picture. So that is more of an educational post. So we do educational posts. Our clients send in company news, and the more company news they send in, the better their SEO is. Because every time they are at a specific location, you're at an assisted living facility, you're at a skilled nursing facility, you're giving out your tchotchkes, you're doing your leave behinds. When you take a picture and you put 4 sentences to it and you put it on your blog, I visited the blah blah skilled nursing facility today, had a great time. May is Older Americans Month, and I left them with d. And when you do that and you post it on your blog, even if it's short, Google understands where you were, what you were doing there, and who you work with. It is definitely important to submit company news. Educational content is awesome. The company news tops it all. Inside of these posts, you would notice if you were on this website and you looked at one of these that we are internally linking. So if the post is about companion care, the benefits of companion care at home for older adults, I can tell you right now, the keyword phrase in there is companion care. And we link to the companion care page from that website, from that blog post, I'm sorry. So companion care, that page that we created, always is getting links. Let's link back to you from blog posts. The word home care, the word in-home care, the words personal care services, all of those link back to a specific page that talks about that service in particular. That helps Google a lot. So you're organizing your content and pointing to the right.
Angelica, this is Tammy. I'm gonna help you.
Can you guys mute that for me? Thanks. Okay, so that is basic search engine optimization, what we're talking about there. I'm going to show you the next picture, which looks like craziness. So
Oh.
this is an error, doesn't it? So this
Yeah.
is Google doesn't see your beautiful website. It doesn't see your beautiful pictures. It doesn't see all of that stuff. What it sees is what you're looking at right here. This is what Google sees. So if this code that you see in front of you actually tells Google all the things it needs to know about you, then you are going to rank better. Now, some web developers will say, well, we just use a plugin for that. And I will tell you that that is not enough. There are lots of SEO plugins that you can use on your website, but if you don't add the extras, you are going to be left behind. So what we do is we add code by hand. We do have a code generator that we use, but we put in all the particulars. We put in what your pay sources are, what your services are. We put in your social media links. We put in your logos. We tell Google what areas you serve. So we tell Google a whole lot of stuff that a plugin does not do. So I highly recommend that when you talk to your web developer, that you ask them about SEO and you ask them, do I have, an adequate amount of schema on the back end of my website? And if they're not doing this, then they're not doing enough. So that is my, this is totally nerdy. It's boring, but essential. Why mobile matters more. So mobile is the default experience. 70% of web traffic now comes from mobile devices. Now I look at Google Analytics for a lot of home care agencies, a lot. We look at this. And when mobile started becoming important, we could see that, they were maybe like 10% of people would see them on a mobile device, 20%, 30%. It was just caregivers. Now it's at least 50% of the traffic that comes to your website is mobile traffic. Everybody's on their phone. Your adult daughters are sitting in the hospital next to their mom's bed, looking on their mobile device at who they can call to set up home care services before discharge. So please make sure, that's what we talked about, the speed and how your website looks from a mobile perspective. Please make sure that all the things we talked about are there, because that adult child is overwhelmed and they're in crisis and they really just want to be able to click a button and call you. So on the right-hand side, you can see Amana Care, and you can see 2 phone numbers because they have multiple offices. And some of our clients have even more than that. But just make sure that you have various ways for people to contact you. If your website isn't built for mobile first, you're instantly giving most of your audience a bad experience. All right, Google's mobile first indexing. We talked about how in 2018, Google said, it's all mobile now, folks. We don't care as much about desktop. They care about it, not as much. A beautiful desktop with a clunky mobile version will get poor rank, fewer leads, and a side eye from Google. That's true. It'll give you the side eye. So here's just another, all of these screenshots are various websites we've built over the years with different calls to action. So you have your call today on this one, and you have a free home care guide. So, and this actually does get a lot of action. People do want that free home care guide, and they will put in their name, their email address, and sometimes their phone number for that free home care guide, which gives you what? Another lead to follow up with. Mobile users have different intentions. This is true. Mobile visitors are often in a do something now mindset, calling, booking, finding directions, requesting help. So they're ready to go if they're using their mobile device. They need something. Your site needs click to call, fast loading, intuitive navigation, and clear calls to action for mobile users. Again, another website, 2 more calls to action, let's get started, and a phone number. You don't have to make it complicated. Just make sure they can do something quickly. Speed and simplicity win. So mobile users are more impatient. You have 3 seconds or less before they bounce. So remember those speed tests, those sites loaded in 1.5 seconds or less. It might have been a little more than that, but we are talking about fully loaded in less than 2 seconds. Clean design, compressed images, fast hosting, and simple structure matter more on mobile. So if your hosting is slow, your website might be beautiful, but if your hosting is slow, that's another challenge that you have to overcome with speed. So don't use GoDaddy's business shared hosting, blah, blah, because you'll never have a fast website doing that. Conversions happen on mobile. In industries like home care, users often find your business via mobile, and then they call, submit a form, or request info. After hours, on weekends, we see a lot more forms coming in, but as you all know, people calling the office is really where it's at. Most of your leads are going to be calls, and if it's Monday night at 10 p.m., it's probably going to be a form. If your mobile site makes them pinch or zoom, pinch, make it littler or zoom out, you're going to be losing leads. So just make sure that everything looks good. And if you haven't looked at your own website on a mobile device lately, or the people you work for, look at it and see what you see. Can you call the office through that number easily? Is it click to call? Responsive isn't enough anymore. It's not just about resizing, it's about designing for mobile behavior. Thumb-friendly buttons. I have the 2 biggest thumbs in the world. I have weird, flat bubble thumbs. And so these buttons are definitely friendly for my thumbs because I'm constantly touching the wrong thing. Minimal text and a user journey optimized for scrolling. So this needs to be an easy, fluid setup. All right, capturing phone and form leads. Form submissions go straight to follow up, no black holes. So oftentimes, I've done this before. I filled out a contact us form after hours for some service that I needed. Maybe it was a plumber or, electrician, or I don't know, whatever, carpet cleaning. And no one ever answers me. I have to call that next Monday if I really want to use that service. No one's going to follow up with me if I fill out a contact us form. That should never be the case. We never allow that to get past you. So when we develop a website, we use our ASN Spark CRM for all the forms. And what happens is not only do you get an email that someone just filled out a form on your website, but someone in your office should also be getting a text that says, hey, so-and-so's trying to get a hold of you. They need care, so that whoever the responsible person is for following up can do it just like that. Fast, 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 fast. You don't want to be slow about following up. When a family fills out a form, their info is captured instantly, they are tagged, and they're put in a pipeline for follow-up. You want no lost emails, no sticky notes, no guessing who followed up. Everything should be spelled out for your staff and for you as far as follow-up and follow-up timing. Less than 5 minutes is ideal. Within the hour is a definite. Not following up till tomorrow is not an option. You will lose them. They're gone. They've already got services. Track phone calls like a boss. Okay. Not everybody wants us to track every phone call that comes into their office, but I will tell you, no matter how married you are to that phone number that you've had for 15 years, it is worth it to put a tracked and recorded phone line on your website at the top. And here's what I mean. We buy a phone number, that's a local phone number, and we put that one on your website. That phone number, it forwards directly to your office line. And trust me when I say no one remembers what your phone number is to your office, except for the people that work there. And even they don't remember what the phone number is. So I would get a tracked and recorded line, put it on the top of your website. It forwards directly to the office. Then you can know who called and which marketing source drove them to you. So inside our CRM, we can track. Did they come from a Google ad? Was it organic? And you can even ask the question, how'd you hear about us? Everybody should be asking, how'd you hear about us? And recording that somewhere, not just hearing it, but writing it down and or entering it into your system, wherever it is, and finding out where the most folks hear from you. I am always surprised when Annette or Lisa or Dawn tell me most of the leads we've had lately are coming from YouTube or they're coming from LinkedIn. I'm always surprised by that. I don't know why I'm surprised by that. We do a ton of video, but that's where, that would not be where I would think our leads come from. I would think they come from our website and people would just Google us and find us. And that does happen, but they see our videos, they see our posts on LinkedIn, and they pick up the phone and call, or they fill out a form on our website. You need to know what kind of calls are coming in. We've had several clients say, well, our phone doesn't ring. Our website doesn't make our phone ring. And then we put a tracked and recorded line on their website, and they find out pretty quickly that a lot of the calls that are coming in are coming from their website. Calls can be recorded for training or quality assurance. And if you missed a call, what we do is we trigger an instant text message that says, we're sorry we missed your call. Or this is ABC Home Care. We're sorry we missed your call. Let us know, text us back or let us know, or we will reach out to you. I can't remember what it says, but it acknowledges the fact that they called you and nobody answered or it went to voicemail. And instantly they get a text. We want to talk to you. Sorry, our phones were busy at the time. You're not just answering the phones, you're analyzing trends and improving conversions. The person who answers, I know we talk about this all the time, but the person who answers the phone in your office, they're your first line of marketing. Everybody's a marketer in your business. So if they aren't being receptive and kind and a good listener, then you might be losing folks. So being able to listen to those calls and see what's happening is really a good way for you to know what's happening when you're not around or when the boss isn't around, or, how are people really answering the phone? Are they answering it, or are they taking their time and talking slow and being a good listener?
Chewing their gum.
Yeah. Being,
Yeah.
I word like it, even, oh my gosh. If I call the vet, I want to hear, hi, or this is Elm Point Animal Hospital. This is Joan, can I help you? I want to know that I called the right place. I want to know who answered the phone. It just makes me feel better. So I know if Joan's helping me or if she's a jerk on the phone, I can tell somebody, hey, it was Joan that helped me and she was great. Or it was Joan that helped me and she was a jerk. I want to know your name. I want to know who you are. Did I call the right place? All right.
Valerie,
Uh,
can I just,
yes.
I can't stress enough that you're answering your calls live.
Live.
Because so when Valerie says, you know, my phone's not ringing from the website, like what's going on? And then we put a track line in, we can tell whether they're answered live or not. Most adult children that are in crisis, they're in crisis and they don't want to fill out a form and they want to talk to somebody now. They don't want to wait for whoever to call me back.
Right.
And sometimes you might get the assessment just because you answered your phone live and your competitors didn't. So I can't stress that enough. It just has to happen. Somebody, and they have to be good on the phone, as Valerie said, but
Yeah.
that call answer, because that's the other thing is if the caregiver doesn't show up, are you going to answer or am I going to have to fill out a form? Am I going to leave a voicemail because my caregiver didn't show up and my mom is laying in bed and there's nobody there? It also tells them what the service might be like down the road too.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
telling a lot.
Right.
Anyway, sorry
Yep.
about just it's so
Yeah.
so important.
It is your first impression.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The force is strong with these people.
Yeah.
They know. All right, I just posted about this today. Speed to lead automation. Home care inquiries, like this is what you just said, are urgent.
Mm.
Families want help right now. So when we use our CRM, we text or email a lead instantly after they submit a form. We send an internal alert to your team. Inquiry, call back within 5 minutes. We send that via email and text. Whoever that responsible person or persons are, get that immediate information. Auto assign leads to the right person for a fast response. Sometimes we have companies with multiple salespeople across multiple territories. And in that case, we can organize it so that when that lead comes in from a certain zip code, if assuming we're asking that question, then we can route them to the right salesperson. So it every second does count. And we set up our CRM and all the things that we do to make sure you don't miss a moment. You don't miss anything. That text comes to you, you see it, you answer it. Sometimes we're away from our desk and we're not on our email. Or if you're out in the field and you're responsible for following up with leads, then having a text is super important. All right. Seamless website integration. So I put a loaded baked potato on here because ASN built websites that come with ASN Spark built in. That's our CRM. It's baked in like a loaded baked potato. Forms, chat widgets, call tracking, all pre-configured to work out of the box. You may also have this with another provider, and that's awesome. We want to make sure everything works together, everything's going through the same CRM, and you are being notified. No tech headaches, no plugins, no third-party tools to juggle. Everything fits together perfectly. So that's our rule of thumb for websites. And we hope that whoever's doing your website feels that way too. All right, does blog posting still make sense? I've heard that a lot lately. And I've also heard people say, or other providers like us or say, who by the way, don't do SEO, they say, you don't need to blog post anymore. It doesn't make a difference. And I'm going to tell you the reason they said that to you is because they don't offer blog posting or they don't do SEO. Yes, it still matters. And yes, you should have blog posts. Google loves fresh content. Every time you add a blog post or a page to your website, Google reindexes your entire website. So the more frequently you do that within reason, the better you are. Google notices that. Google comes back and reindexes your website and takes note of all the new things that are there. Google's algorithm rewards websites that are active and updated regularly. A blog tells Google this site is alive, relevant, and worth ranking higher. If your website shows that the last blog post was April of 2023, then I highly suggest that you get in there and start putting in some relevant, up-to-date content that is for today, because your web savvy adult children of aging parents, which could be Gen Xers, Gen Zs, millennials, they will look at stuff like that. They'll look and see, when was the last time they posted on Facebook? It's been a year ago. Are they still in business? I wonder. It's been a year since they've done a blog post. What happened a year ago? That's what I always think. What happened to this organization a year ago? Frequent blog posts help you rank for long tail keywords, meaning, like home care services for the elderly is a really long tail keyword phrase. Voice searches and trending questions in home care. So frequent blog posts help with all that. I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a second here. Do we have any questions before I keep going? We all good?
Nope, we're good.
All right. Blogs build authority and trust. So I put an example of a blog post here. How can families help seniors fix loneliness and isolation? That's a huge problem. You can see on this blog post that we've bolded the words companion care at home. That's probably the keyword phrase that they're SEOing for in this blog post. Families are searching for answers like how to know when it's time for home care. What is dementia care at home like? When your blog answers these questions, you become the trusted expert, not just another agency. Trust equals calls, calls equal clients. So yes, you need to blog post. All right, every blog post is multi-use content gold. So what we use blog posts for is newsletter content. So we turn the blog posts into newsletters so you can see my pictures here. The left-hand side picture is an employee of the month post, and my right-hand picture is the newsletter that went out that also talked about the May Caregiver of the Month. So we use all the content that our clients send in and our educational content for their newsletter, and it works very nicely. We repost and repurpose all of as much of the content from blogging as possible. One well-written blog can power a week of marketing content, and that's true. You can use that in many ways. A really good post can also become a press release, can also become a little video. It could be used as a reel. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do with one good blog post. Okay, this is where I show you how AI and voice search equals content demand. So AI and voice search are becoming more and more important. So I'm showing you on the screen an example of how our organization shows up for and this is a long tail keyword phrase. It's not meant to impress anybody, but best home care website design agencies in 2025. I put that in an incognito Google search. Did I? Yes, I think I did. And this is what comes up. Approved senior network marketing. What? And you know why this is like this? Our competitors are also listed there. The reason this shows up like this is because I wrote a blog post that talked about the best home care website design agencies in 2025, and I listed our competitors. Of course, we were first, but I listed them all. So
Super smart.
that blog post, you can see it on the right-hand side there where my two arrows are. Best home care website design agencies in 2025 and approved senior network, home care website design, whatever. You can see both of those are referenced for this AI answer from Google. So if you want your blog post to show up in an AI answer, then you need to write blog posts about the questions that people ask. So if you've answered those questions in a blog post, you could be the source on ChatGPT, Bard, Alexa. Is Bard even a thing? Alexa references, and then it says, hello, position 0. That's true. You are above. If you're in an AI answer, you are above every single thing that appears on Google, including sponsored ads, including paid advertising. So this is where you want to be. The way to do that is to answer the tough questions. One of the questions that's really tough, but you should have a blog post about, I believe, is how much does home care cost? And I know you don't want to put your hourly rates in there, but you should try. You should not put your hourly rates in there, but you should answer the question, and just either give a range or don't say anything at all. Tell them why you need to have a conversation about it first. Because it depends on how much care the person needs. It depends on how sick they are. It depends on if it's for a wife and a husband. Sometimes it depends on if pet care is involved. Whatever your parameters are, make sure that you answer those questions in that blog post. All right. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. Get
That's-
paid to be, do we have a question?
No, I was just saying that's great information.
Oh,
I
thank
meant to say it in my head, but I said it out loud.
All right, so here's a couple of home care examples. And this is something you might want to forward on to our friends at CareTech. It says, get paid to be a caregiver in North Platte. Now, in the state of Nebraska and in many states, you can get paid to be a family caregiver, right? And some of you don't do that. You're private pay only. So this would not apply to you. But if you are one of those that takes Medicaid waivers, and this is the question that everybody's asking. How do I get paid to care for my mom? How do I get paid to care for a family member? So I typed in get paid to be a caregiver in North Platte. And on this one, I did get paid to care for a family member in Omaha. And this is what came up. Yes, it is possible to get paid to be a caregiver in North Platte, Nebraska. Now, again, that's also not like Miami or Manhattan, so this was easier to come up with. But look at the first person, the first home care agency that's on there. It's our clients at CareTech. And if you look at this one over here, yes, it's possible. Also, CareTech. CareTech is part of the answer. So they're listed over here on the right. This is all Google search. Can I get paid to be a caregiver in whatever? And if you're not showing up, you need to show up. So you need to write a blog post. I can tell that these are linking to pages, not blog posts, I think. Let me see. Home care, no care. How do we, I think that they are pages as opposed to blog posts. So this is a pretty big deal in Nebraska. So that's why I would say definitely address all of the things that you need. I think you should take a screenshot of this and send it over to CareTech. They would love it. Okay. So I went through a little bit of AI. We talked about speed. We talked about blog posting. We talked about schema. We talked a little bit about SEO. There's way more to SEO than just blog posting. Please know that. And schema. It's way more to it. But we've talked about all the things you need. Speed, speed, speed. And a great mobile look to your website. Does anybody have questions about website design? Nope.
I don't have anyone in the chat, but if anyone wants to speak up,
Okay, well, in that case,
hey.
dun, dun.
Okay, so look in the chat here if you want to enter for custom leave behind, say yes in the chat, and Annette will take all your names down. Oh, yay, yay, yay. Okay, so homecaremarketingnews.com/store. So what we did to make things a little easier for you to go with our leave behinds is we kind of research for you, go grab the links, find something that's pretty affordable, and then we add them to this May, June, July, August. So when you click on August, you'll see what we recommend for the August leave behinds. So pretty cool. You don't have to buy here. It just makes it a lot easier so you don't have to do the legwork. And the winner of the May Leave Behinds was Lorraine at Adult Alternative Home Care, and they got the Mother's Day, so celebrate Mother's Day. And they went out to wherever they went out to. I'm not sure, but they gave this out and sent us photos. And so congratulations on the win. And we're glad you were able to use these and send them to us. We love this stuff. We love to see this.
That is so nice. Yes. So if you won in the past, we're waiting for those pictures.
Yeah, we need them because that's part of the deal.
Yeah, that's the deal, man.
Yeah. And so Valerie, what you were saying about the blog post, I know you said that it's, community news isn't all everything, but I've seen the difference. And so those photos can be repurposed into all of those things we were talking about earlier. And I just love to see that because it's pretty simple to just take the same thing and repurpose it everywhere and just kind of full circle. All right, so we'll get into May Leave Behind. So This one is what is it? Older Americans Month for May. The theme this year is flip the script on aging. And so we did a big flyer basically talking about 20 ways to keep seniors young at heart. And I think the conversation here, when you go in to talk with a social worker, is flip the script on aging, right? But aging on your own terms, just because, and I put this in blue because aging eyes, so I could see it. But it doesn't mean that you can't do the things that you love to do. You're not going to go and enjoy life. You just may need some assistance, and our caregivers can help with that. So they can get you to all the places that you love to go and do all those cool things, that you love to do. So this is you can take a couple of these out. And what's on the next slide here? Sorry. And all you have to do, this is just kind of to break it down for you because the font is too small for me to be able to read. But some of the 20 ways, stay connected, join clubs, learn something new, stay active, volunteer, make sure you're laughing, express creativity like painting. I just had someone send a blog or a community news post they made handheld fans and they were super cute. So just make sure that we keep them doing what they love to do. You're still living. And oops, all you have to do is go into the links at the bottom there and you can change out the logo and the contact information to yours. And then it's pretty much done for you. So you're good to go. Okay. All right, another one, Skin Cancer Awareness Month. So we just want to make sure that our referral partners know that we do love them and care about them. And so we want them to protect their skin. And so we're bringing them a couple of these little, next slide. These little cuties. These Don Fiala found, I think last year, and I just think they're so cute. They go on the white here, and then when you get too much, you've been in the sun way too long, you need to go in and either put on some more sunscreen or just take a breather. They turn purple, and they have all different styles and types. If you look to the left-hand side here, where it says marketing store, that's where you can go back to that first slide that I showed you. You can see where you can buy all this cool stuff. I mean, that was for nurses, but whatever, you can still buy this stuff and use it for something else. But there they are. So you click on the link and you can buy whatever ones you like. I think they had like dinosaurs, unicorns, you name it. Super cool. Love those. And I think that this is the time when people are like at the sniffs, they're doing like luau's and a lot of outdoor things within the community. So this is really good just for everybody. They can give those out to the patients there too. All right, so a June leave behind, and you'll notice we got rid of a couple of the Mays because they're already kind of done. But safety month. So I think that what you could do here, and this is a full flyer again too, you would just go to the link and change out your information. Whoa, driving kind of fast there, Valerie.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Safety month. So I think be prepared to ask for and schedule a lunch and learn and talk about what happens after discharge, like when someone gets home, and they're waiting on home health still, or they're waiting on something and they don't have anyone there with them. They've still got to eat and get up and use the restroom and get water and things like that. So I think being ready to do something like that and offering a free home safety assessment, this would be your talking points here with the social worker. These are the things we do, and we can talk to the family. Okay, next. So we're thinking about what can we give to the social workers that are sitting maybe at their desk, and they're running around, of course, but these are really cute. It's just a little cord organizer so they don't trip and fall. All their cords under their desk. And then this phone charger or cord clips for, their cell phone, their whatever else they're charging at their desk. But I just thought these were really cute. They can use them and it's not donuts. So celebrate Father's Day. And enough said about that, I think. Just there it is. And there we go. So we got dad jokes, and I've had a couple people buy these already and scratch them off and read them back to me. And they're pretty funny. I don't know if you guys want to hear one of them, but I'll probably not. But
Yeah.
also
You gotta try a dad joke.
okay. The one that Heather at Amonic Hair gave me a call and read this one off to me. It was, how do you tickle a rich girl? And I said, I don't know. She said, Gucci, Gucci, Gucci. Total dad joke. Like that's up there in dad jokes.
Yeah.
And then we also have this keychain here with the screwdriver and mini tape measure. So I think those are really cute. National Hydration Day, June 23rd. Having home care in place can help patients stay hydrated too. So call or text Val for info. So this is really cute. Stay hydrated on us. You bring out the water, and then you could get those little sticky, they're like little circles that can stick to the water, and you could just take out one of these lemonades or whatever, and they're just a one little individual packet. You can stick them onto there and take it out, and you can take the whole bottles out too, like the whole case if you wanted to, but I think that that's really cute as well. And just let them know that you love them and you want them to drink water, because we don't. There is a question in here, sorry. Oh, maybe we'll have to come back to this. We'll take your question down and then we'll get back to you. Home care in a flash. So it's Lightning Safety Day, June 28th. Not that anyone would know that, but this really stands out, right? So I thought it would be really cute. Our care team is ready to get your patients home safe with same day or last minute discharge. So like in a flash, right? So this is really cute. You can take that out. Great talking point there. And then we have flash drives and pretty little flashlights in the colors macaroon, in case you were wondering. Okay, next one. Okay, so for July. So I probably say this each time I go over this, but I didn't know there was a Freedom Week. So that's 4th to the 10th. And then there's, of course, July 4th, Independence Day. Freedom from worry. I think that's the key here. And your talking point when you go out to talk with the social worker. And again, this is designed to get the social worker to come out and talk to you, not hide under their desk, but come out and say hello to you. And you can say, I have something to share with you, your staff, and something special for families to help them prepare for successful discharges home, preventing readmissions. And I think, again, be prepared to schedule a lunch and learn at all these times. And I think you'll be good. You'll be good with that. Okay, pies. Trying to go fast. We have just a couple minutes left. These are delicious, and they're only like 84 cents. You get them at Walmart. American is apple pie, right? I also got the flags too, because I've had the same American flag forever, but those are really cool. You can get either or both and take those out with the leave behinds. Okay, next one. Have a ball with life. So it's social wellness month. So we want social workers to know that we understand. So social connections and meaningful relationships help with overall health and well-being. So our care staff eliminates isolation, loneliness, and neglect with companion care and, going out and transportation, taking them out, doing cool stuff. So just want them to know this as well. These are cool. Kind of match the theme. Go have fun outside. Do something. Sizzling summer leave behinds. So blast from the past, snappy discharges. We want them to know that we can get, last minute discharge. We can get them home in a snap. And, it's really cool to care, because it is. So keep cool on us. And so for the snapped, of course, the Cheez-It snapped, that's great. They can have a little snack for the day. And then Otter Pops, don't freeze them, obviously. Keep them unfrozen, take them out. You can put some ribbons around and put a little hole punch into the leave behind and just make it a cute little package for them. All right. Wellness month is August, and so we want them to know that we understand that as well, and how home care supports wellness. And there's a little list here, creating daily routines, gentle exercise, fresh air, getting out and about. And so call or text Valerie and be well. And our cute little pretty healthy bee there. And then there's this really cool there are these little honey jars with the dipper and everything. I just thought it was a cute little set. You can get honey. You don't have to put honey in it. You could put something else in it or nothing at all and just take it out. I think it's just really cute for the theme. Okay. Okay, National Sandcastle Day. I struggled with this one for a while, but my vision was you see where the logo is, you are the foundation for this sandcastle.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I don't know if I pulled it off, but that's what I was thinking. So building a strong foundation starts with a care plan carefully shaped around your patient's unique needs and all that. So call or text Valerie for a free home assessment and care plan. So yeah, it's kind of summery, kind of bright. And I just like the sandcastle buckets because you can fill this up and they can reuse it later. So they come in a set. The assorted rock candies, I just thought that's kind of like rock solid foundation. You can pair that all together if you want to. But you can put your brochures in the little sandcastle bucket or a whole bunch of other stuff. Anything that you have laying around, any tchotchkes that you have, take them out and put them in there. Pens, whatever. Okay, here's a little different one. This is designed for August 21st is Senior Citizens Day. And so I thought kind of a blast from the past, make it look kind of newspapery. This is a full page here, flyer. And just let the social worker know I have something to share with you, your staff, and something special for families and patients in celebration of National Senior Citizen Day on August 21st. There's some cool like facts in here. Like what senior citizens have contributed to in the world, right? So I just thought that was kind of cute to add here. Like Roger Bacon invented the magnifying glass and he was in his 60s. So just a couple of cool facts there. And then what we like to pair with that is we created just custom word searches. And you can just print these out. You can go to the link there, print them out, change out the logo, of course, and your company information. And then if you wanted to include the little magnifying glass, there's like a couple of different options there, and they're in the store.
I really love the word searches. I think they're great. You can print out a bunch and they'll give them out to their residents and patients.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, definitely. What I know that when my mom was at a sniff recently, she was like, they don't have anything for us to do. And so we were going to donate a whole bunch of coloring books and things like that. So it's a great in too. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But okay, National Safe at Home Week. We're almost done. August 24th to the 30th. So let's light the way. Free home safety assessments before discharge. That's just a great message right there. You want to get that before discharge. We want to see everything and get you signed up before you get home so that we can take care of everything. And then the next page. I love these little USB keyboard lights. I have one, and then these little motion lights. This is great to keep someone safe. Put it by the stairs, put it by the restroom when they get up in the middle of the night, whatever the case may be. So I thought those were really
I
cute.
love these. I love these. I'm totally getting these little sensor lights for the
Yeah, for sure.
bathroom. Oh my God, so cute. They're not, they're not big, but gosh, when the room is pitch black dark and you start to get in your 50s, you're like tripping over dogs and things and people and whatever's on the floor. Oh my God.
Right, definitely. And they fit so that they don't block, when you have the two outlets or inlets, they don't block the second one. So kind of nice. Okay. Oh, geez Louise.
We
So
done.
um, go ahead.
We had a question, Valerie, for you. I don't know if you saw it in the chat.
Oh, no, I did not.
Where is it? Is there any other
It's
way to show up in AI tools other than blog post?
Oh, well, if you have a page devoted to answering that question, you have to have the information on your website in order to show up as an answer. So in order for Google to consider you a trusted authority, you have to actually answer lots of the questions that people normally ask. And there's kind of a certain way to answer it that lets AI get the information quickly. And I think I formatted those pages. I think they were all linking to pages as opposed to blog posts. I formatted those pages to answer those questions really quickly, right at the very beginning of the post or the page. And so in order to show up in AI search, I mean, you might show up for something else that's on your website, but what you really want to look at is questions that people normally ask about home care. And when you see that, you can see that right on a Google search page. It says people also ask. When you answer those and you do a good job, and it's not just gobbledygook, you have to put a lot of work into that post or that page in order for Google to say, yeah, this is a very good answer. So anyway, that's the way I found is the easiest to
You had
show.
mentioned something about a Bing, like our Google business profile, but doing that on Bing or somewhere else
Yes,
for AI. Isn't that
yeah.
too?
ChatGPT is pulling its data from Bing. So if you want to show up in a ChatGPT answers, you need to make sure at the very least that you have your Bing, it's like Google Places, but or Google My Business or Google Business Listing, whatever it's called now, I don't know. But you also want to get your Bing listing up to date. And you have to you're going to have to do this as the owner, as somebody is in leadership, either update it or create one because you won't show up in ChatGPT unless Bing is indexing your blog posts, and also you want to have that listing, that business listing in Bing. And a lot of people don't have it for some reason. So it's very important. Yeah, ChatGPT is all about Bing.
That's crazy because Bing was never even on my radar years.
No.
Yeah.
And it is totally crazy because we haven't used Bing for anything in years. And if you ask ChatGPT, where do you get most of your information for your answers, it'll tell you by Bing. It'll tell you exactly. We've tried it. So yes, make sure you're visible on Bing as well. Home care sales forum, if you want to go see what all the hubbub's about and look at other people's leave behinds, the home care marketing and sales support forum is where to go. You can also see all of the stuff that you've missed, any of our meetings, homecaresalesforum.com. How to watch the meetings you missed. When you get to the forum, if you're on a desktop, you go to the learning tab and it will show you the continuum mastery portal, and you click on it and it'll show you everything. This is kind of looks like you open it and then everything that we've done since January of this year is in there, all the videos, everything. On the mobile version, if you download the Collab app, spelled Kollab, you can also log in and you can see all of the different things we've been doing in, it looks like this, home care marketing and sales support forum. And down at the bottom of the mobile version, it says learning, and that's what you want to click on in order to go see all the Mastery Circle stuff. And Annette does a really good job of keeping up. These are old screenshots, but she does a good job of keeping up with things in there. All right, I think that's it. Woohoo!
Voila.
We're done.
Thanks.
Yeah, have a great rest of your week.
All right, thanks everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.